Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a third installment in the would I repurchase this palette, or would I repurchase these 10 palettes. So I've done two of these before. I did them last year. I think the last time I did this was like May or June of last year, so it's been a while. It's been on my list of things to do, but I feel like I had too many review things going on last summer. And then I had too many like rankings and end of year wrap up things to do at the end of the year. So it's been a while, but I do really like doing this. So this is a video that I know Annette's Makeup Corner has done and a few other people have done as well. So this is a random selection of 10 palettes from my collection. I have about 100 palettes that I own. So this is about 10 of them, and it's just a random mix of would I buy these again if they came out now or if I lost them or something. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Colin. I'm a non-binary Latinx scientist and lover of makeup with a soft spot for indie makeup and more high-end makeup. And I tend to take a pretty analytical approach to my makeup collection and my makeup reviews, and I have new content every week, so I'd love to have you subscribe. So like other times, this is just a random selection. What I've done in the past is have my husband just pick 10 random palettes, and then I get to say, would I buy this today or not? So I have a stack here. They're mostly sorted by size, not in any other particular order, just because they're stacked. So I'm just gonna go through them and we'll talk about would I repurchase this or not. So the first one I have on top is the Viseart Bijoux palette, and I would definitely rebuy this. So I did buy it on sale, but I really, really like this palette. It doesn't look like I've used it much again because I'm always so gentle with my palettes, but I really like this. It's some really nice neutrals with some like jewel tone pops of color shimmers. I really like the Viseart formula. The mattes are one of the best mattes out there. The shimmers are really nice. They tend to be more satin, which I do like. But there are some like non-satins. There are some more metallic shades in here, and I really love the formula, and the colors in here are really pretty. They're also all magnetic, so I can mix and match if I want. So I really want more Viseart for that reason, because I love the formula and I can mix and match. So this is definitely a repurchase. Also, I don't think any of these are things that I got in PR. So if it was something I got in PR, I would tell you if I would buy it myself. But I bought all of these. Okay, so the next palette is one that I would buy again, and I don't know if this is available anymore. It is the Clydos Flower Punk palette. I really like this. This is the last palette I bought from Clydos. I love the packaging. Like the plants around here with these moths that are kind of iridescent and everything, like totally my vibe plant, like art-wise. Really love this. And then the color story is really beautiful. I think this is a really unique, interesting color story. I'm mostly have used, no, I wouldn't say that. I've used pretty much everything equally. I wouldn't say this is a palette where you're gonna mix all of the shades for a really pretty look, but it's got like sections. So you've got the pinky mauve neutral section, you've got the little mint section, and then you've got the green section. So of course, I'm gonna love this side. I do think Earthship, I have a similar color like this from Melt Cosmetics, like in Gemini, and I like the Melt version better. This one, if you wanna do like a pack all over your lid, kind of like just this shade packed all over the lid, it didn't wanna pack and build on itself as well. Like it took more effort. But as like an outer corner deepening shade, really lovely. This is a really beautiful olive metallic, and you know I'm a sucker for an olive. I really like, these are the kind of pink tones I like because they're more peachy, and this is like a more mauvey brown. And then the mints are really nice. I really like these mint shades, and this is a very spring palette for me. These are really spring, like light colors, and then I really like these in the spring and the summer. Like I'll often wear Aloe Cove, the sparkly, just as like I'll put bronzer on the lid, a little mascara, and then I'll put Aloe Cove on like my inner corner, and I really like that look, and I don't have anything else similar, so I would definitely rebuy this if I needed to. Okay, so the next palette is one from the original Haus Labs and is the Stupid Love palette. So this was their first like big palette, and I do really like this palette. There are some shades that aren't the highest performing, so I don't know if I would rebuy this. Like if I had to buy this today, if it was like on sale on Amazon, I probably would still buy it. But at full price, I don't think I would buy this again today. Despite loving Haus Labs. If they came out with a new version of this in the new Sephora brand, maybe I would. Because some of these are really, really lovely. These blues are some of the best blues that I have. They're really nice performing blues. The mattes in here are what has had me keep it and keep using it. So the mattes are really nice. These both up here, Plastic Doll and Stupid Love, have huge dips in them. Plastic Doll is kind of similar to the one in the Clydos. Stupid Love is a really unique mauve brown that I don't have. I have stuff that's similar, but nothing that's exactly it. The orange is really nice. The white, the matte white, I've actually grabbed for this matte white a few times because it's actually a really good matte white. And some of the shimmers in here are really beautiful. Like Sour Candy is a nice copper, but like more pinky copper, and this is like a more brown copper. Some of these blue shimmers are really nice, like right here. It's just like the more topper shades, like this, 1,000 Doves, it got hard pan pretty quickly, and it's like, it's a good topper if you want nothing else on your eye. Like if you were just putting a little bit of a wash of sparkle, it's fine, but I have better toppers. And I think Alice was also a little bit of a dud. Not horrible and still workable, but not like the best. So this one I'm torn on. And I have a big dip in Enigma, the bright blue too. So maybe I would repurchase this because I do have big dips in this. I don't know. I'm gonna say likely not, but there's a chance. Like if I lost that, I would be sad and I wouldn't pay full price again for it. I wouldn't pay like $40 or whatever it was. But if I lost this and it was still on sale for like 20 bucks or something like that, I would pay 20 bucks for it. Okay, so the next one I have here is the Melt Rust palette. I would definitely rebuy this. I love this palette. It is a really great warm tone neutral palette. I don't really have, I think the closest thing I have to like really warm tone neutrals beside this is the Bronze palette from Natasha Denona, and I like this more. The shimmers in Bronze are better and more sparkly, and there's more shimmers, but this has the mattes that I love. It's got, you know, you've got a peachy shade, a mustard shade, kind of a mustard brown, and then you've got these really nice rusty brown tones. I just love this. I think this is one of the best palettes they've come out with. And if it's ever on sale and you're wanting to buy this, I think it's worth it. I don't like paying full price for anything, but Melt has sales pretty regularly, so on sale I would definitely get it. That's how I got it, and I have zero regrets. Okay, so the next palette is the Trixie and Juno palette. This came out this last summer, and I do really love this palette. I would rebuy this. I love Juno Birch. She's a great drag queen. I've seen her live. Great. Love her YouTube channel, all of that. Love this. It's all matte except for this shade. This shade is supposed to be a shimmer or a metallic. I don't remember what they called it. It's a highlighter. Like it's an inner corner highlight or a good face highlight. It's not a good lid shade. That is the one downside to this. But I think the formula is really nice. I do know someone who has other Trixie palettes and messaged me like, are you having trouble with yours? Because my Juno palette doesn't perform like my other Trixie palettes. So I do want to put that out there. I haven't experienced that. I would say this is exactly the same mattes as everything else, but I really like it. It's got a good matte white. It's got a good charcoal. I really love these blue and lavender tones. I think these are really great. So I don't grab for the neutrals that often, but I do like them. These are both, they're neutrals made for Juno Birch. Like they're her tones that she wears a lot. But I've grabbed for them a handful of times, but what I grabbed to mostly is this little quad right here of these blue and purples. And then this pink could work as a blush. I don't really wear baby pink blushes. It's not going to show up on me, but other people, the orange is nice. So I would definitely rebuy this. Okay, so the next palette is the Byrato Flora Kalahari palette. I would 100% buy this again. I paid full price for this. I got it as a birthday present for myself months after it had been discontinued because it was available in Los Angeles when I was there for my birthday, visiting friends, and I had been wanting it for months, and I'm so happy I got it. I think it's just really beautiful. I wish I had the prismatic palette that came out the year before, and I'm curious to see if they'll launch something like this year. Isabella French was the creative director at Byrato when they made this and the other one, and I don't think she is anymore now that she has her own brand. But so we'll see. But I love the formula. It's soft. So my hesitation online was that it looked like a lot of duplicate shades. It looked really soft and boring, but it is soft, but it's like elegant soft. And I love the looks I get with this. I wear this. This is the kind of palette I wore. I wore this a lot when I was teaching this last summer. It's a very, like, it's a sophisticated formula. I feel very, like, it's not high impact. Like, some of them are pretty sparkly or more metallic. Like, this one's pretty metallic, and this one's a nice sparkly topper wash of sparkle. But it's more like, I just always feel refined when I wear it. And I just love that. Okay, so the next palette is one I would definitely rebuy. And even though I think most people wouldn't, and it is the Natasha Denona Zendo palette. I love this palette. This is one of my favorite Natasha Denona palettes. After Metropolis and Gold. I would say it's like Metropolis, Gold, and Lila are my top three, and then this is up like my fourth. I love this. So I love a mix of cool and warm tones in a palette. I just always it gives you more options. I also really like things like, putting a cool warm brown mattes in the crease and then like a blue shimmer or something, like contrasting. I like that. Or, putting these like more green tone mattes on the lid and using like the gold to contrast. I really like that. I like the shades in here all work really nicely. I know a lot of people didn't like this minty shade, and I know Steven didn't like this peach shade, but they work fine for me. It has 4 cream to powder, so it has cream to powder, cream to powder, cream to powder, cream to powder. I like them all. I think this is a good, like, you put this one down and then you buff the edges with this one, because they're both cream to powder. I wouldn't like start with this one, but like they still work. I take this traveling a lot because I can use just a couple of the warm brown shades. Like I can use Balance and Mindful and then pick a shimmer, or I can do like Zeal and Yama. I love this. I like that it has the pop of blue. I know why people didn't like this. A lot of the reviews I saw, people tried to mix the shades weirdly. Like they tried to mix like Vigor and Mantra, and they ended up with like Mud, and it was like, yeah, you're mixing red and green. Like, what do you expect to happen? Like, that was more like user error color theory, not understanding color theory. And then the metallics in here are mostly, they're not as foiled as Natasha Denona metallics can be. But I don't think a metallic always has to be super high shine, super foiled, super metallic. I like a soft metallic, kind of like a lot of these. And I think I like all of the different formulas, and it's just a matter of my mood that day, the time and place that I'm wearing them, all of that. So I appreciate having those metallics in there. They're very soft, wearable, easygoing kind of shades. So I like that. Okay, so I have 3 palettes left. The next one is the Norms palette from Odens Eye. I don't think this was in one of my first ones, but it's been a year, and I did look back, but I don't think this was in one. I don't think I would repurchase this. I don't want to declutter it because I do like it. I like the brown here. I like this mauve. I like the mauve tones here. The brown's nice. Some of these shades are really nice. And I specifically keep it because of these metallics down here. I feel like if I was gonna declutter an Odens Eye palette, it would probably be this one, just because it's not as well rounded. The only light shade, like you can blend this brown out, but it takes some effort. It doesn't blend out as easily as a Pat McGrath or a Natasha Denona shade. This shade you can blend out pretty well because it's light enough. But the only like light shade to use as like a transition is a gray. So it's like an odd choice. But so I sometimes have to pair it with something else or use my bronzer or something in my crease, something like that. But I still really like the palette and I really love specific shades in it. So I'm gonna keep it, but I don't think I would repurchase it because it's just like, I think the quality is also like, it's good, but it's not as good as they are now. I feel like when they did the Legendary Diversa series and onward, they really upped the quality. And so this is like good quality, but not great like they have now. Okay, so 2 palettes left. The next one is also one that somehow the stack ended up with ones that I wouldn't purchase at the end. So this is Lunar Beauty Moonspell Volume 2. I would not repurchase this. I do like this and I don't want to get rid of it, mostly because of the packaging. And there are some shades in here I like. Love this packaging. But it's not their best formula. I would say like the other palettes I have from Lunar Beauty are like a 10. They're really great. This is like, they're like an A, you know, they got like an A grade. This is like a B minus, B. Like it's not the worst formula, but it's not like what I expected. It's still usable. The reason I wouldn't buy this is because buying this and trying to use it made me realize that I don't like red and pink eyeshadow that much. And I knew going into it that I didn't wear them often, but then actually trying to review this and use it a lot, realized that I don't like red and pink. So I like some of the purple shades in here, and I like some of these shades like Queenie and Mel and Maggie. I like this bottom row a lot, and I like some of the shimmers up here, but like the middle row, Sally's fine, but like the middle row I don't really use. But it does have Willow for Willow Rosenberg from Buffy, who is my favorite witch. So like part of me also doesn't want to get rid of it because of that and the packaging, but I just don't use reds and pinks, so I wouldn't repurchase this because of color, knowing now that I don't like those colors. And then the last one is the Sojaded by ColourPop and Kathleen Lights. So this is old. This is one of the last ColourPop palettes that I actually haven't gotten rid of, because there are a few shades in here that I do really like still. And I just like haven't brought myself to get rid of it. We'll see what happens this summer and this year. But it's pretty. I think if I was still buying ColourPop and I didn't own this, I would still buy it. But knowing, you know, the fact that I don't buy ColourPop anymore and I don't love the formula and that it's got 2 pressed glitters, I would not rebuy this. I will probably, if I do get rid of this, I'll probably depot because it's magnetic. I'll probably take out some of the shades that I do like from this so that I have them as singles. But I wouldn't repurchase this. I feel like a lot of some of the metallics are nice. They're more of a satin, like soft metallic, like, but they're still nice. But then a lot of them are also just kind of like really sheer not the best. I think this is one of ColourPop's better palettes, but there are a couple shades in here that are like, don't perform very well. And then I just don't like ColourPop's quality as much as I used to. So I would not rebuy this, but I don't regret having it either. So that's why I haven't gotten rid of it like I did most of my ColourPop stuff. Okay, so that is my 10. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the 10, what your thoughts are. I always love to hear your thoughts and opinions. As always, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.